Hello and welcome to Colour Multimedia Enterprises. My name is Luke, also known as Brutal Excess, and I am going to be doing some StoryDev tutorials. Now, if you haven't already, you can go over onto my website www.colorid.net, as you can see on the screen right now, and over on the products page you can download and install the latest version of StoryDev. Currently, at the time of this video, that is version 1.0.4, and that should include features such as the game events feature. You'll be able to work with JSON and other such things. But in this episode, what I'm going to be doing is showing you just the simple basics of how to use StoryDev and the engine. So without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, if you haven't, you will need to, once the StoryDev launcher does launch for the first time, install and download the Hakes toolkit, along with OpenFL, as well as a variety of other things as well. That is required in order to compile the game, otherwise your game will not work. Now, I'm going to be creating just a simple game with StoryDev just to show you how to get to grips with this. So you can create, of course, a new tutorial, but what I'm going to do in fact is load that instead. No, I do not. And a tutorial. So I'm going to open this, load successful, and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this for the time being. Save that. So as you can see, got a bit of text here. We've got hello. We've got italics, bold and italics, and that's how you can format your text. So as you can see, double asterisk is going to be bold. Double underscore is going to make sure that everything within it is italics, and of course bold and italics. Doesn't matter which way you put it, as long as the order is correct on both sides, i.e. if you start with underscore, make sure you end with underscore on the other side. This is some dialogue, says CPU for whatever reason, and I'm just going to save this. Save like that, and we're just going to test game. So it's going to compile the passages that we've just made, and then we're going to show the engine, as you can see. So we've got hello, italics, bold and italics. This is some dialogue, says CPU. And I've actually just realized that this project won't actually work because it's not actually up to date. So I'm actually going to create a new project very, very quickly, and I apologize for this. So I'm just going to do another tutorial. So what this is going to do is it's going to copy the engine over, and that should technically clear, but it doesn't. So I'll probably fix that in the next version or something. Okay, so in the title of the very first passage, and also you don't want to be deleting this, because if you delete the first passage of ID 0, it will actually break the engine. So you don't want to be doing that. So yeah, as I was saying, the first passage, the very first passage with an ID of 0, will have the title as the title of the game. So I'm going to put here another tutorial. So that's the title of my game, and I'm going to do a bit of data here. So I'm not going to go too much into the writing aspect of this, because I'm sure as a writer you probably know how to write, unless of course you're a programmer and don't. But I'm not going to teach you how to write, because that's not the tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to provide a simple message So I'm going to put hello there. And then in the code editor, what I can do is use multiple different functions. So what I'm going to do is append show. And within this, I'm going to use single quote, not double quote. And I'm going to put here, how are you? Let's save that and test game. You can also save with Control S as well. Hello, how are you? Unfortunately, there isn't a space between this, so let's fix that. I'm going to put a space here. Save it. Test game. Okay, so that looks a bit better. What I can also do is add links. So what I'm going to do is append link. And in here, what I'm going to do is click here to add one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a variable. And I'm going to call it x. X equals 0. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do append show. And then in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cancel out. And I'm going to put a single quote here. Now what this backslash is doing is it's cancelling out the single quote. If I were to remove this, as you can see, the rest of it becomes black, and you don't want to do that because that will be a syntax error. So I'm going to put that back there. And within this, what I'm going to do is, in fact, firstly, what I'm going to do is x, and then I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put an n in here, and I'm going to do that. Now, what's that doing? First of all, I'm cancelling out the speech mark so that it doesn't affect this whole string. Then I'm going to create a new line, which is what the backslash n is, and then I'm going to do another backslash with the single quote there. I can alternatively do that and it'll still work. What I'm also going to do is x plus equals 1. Now this could work, but I know it won't. So what I'm going to do is test game. Why is that not working? It's actually not parsing the link for some odd reason, which is very interesting indeed. Okay, so that is odd. Very, very odd. I'll be right back.